Hello, hello. What's going on, guys? I wanted to jump on and do some Q&A with you guys for anything music, really industry related, business related. Maybe you got questions about publishing, you got questions about how to actually get paid with your music, who to submit your music to, how to pitch your music, how to arrange your music for sync licensing. Anything and everything music business related. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. Let me know that you're here also. And as always, these lives are good for anybody that wants to sort of network and connect with other people in music. I try to make this platform kind of open for you guys, let you guys kind of tap in with each other, ask questions, hang out, all that good stuff. I'm not doing a live song review, so probably not a lot of people going to show up to this because for obvious reasons, right? Their song's not getting reviewed. But I do want to help you guys with any music business related stuff that you have questions about, like publishing or master copyright or any of this stuff. Like a lot of this stuff I think is foreign to a lot of people that make music. They're like, what? You make money with music? Why? How does that even work? I thought you just spend money on music, right? You buy plugins and you buy keyboards and you get the new Apollo because they told you to at Guitar Center. But, you know, how do you actually make a business and make a living with music? Is it all just ideas? How do the ideas work? What's the difference between the ideas and the tangible zeros and ones, right? The recordings, all that good stuff. So you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Just here to chat with you guys about music industry, music business, any questions you guys got. Because I'm chilling. I finished up a bunch of work today and I'm over it. I closed up Pro Tools and Logic and I just want to hang out with you guys. So let me know if you're here, drop your handle, drop your IG. Let us follow you. Let us figure out, you know, what you got going on. Let us tap in with your music. Don't be shy. You guys can ask questions. It's okay. It's 6:47 here on the West Coast in Los Angeles. And I'll tell you, I've been making music for 27 years now, somewhere around there, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I've done quite a bit with my music career and I feel like I'm just getting started. So I know that people come through these, you know, social things that have just started with music, maybe just downloaded GarageBand or Logic. And there's others in these chats that have gone and had some major placements and some, you know, done some major projects. So it's cool to always tap in with people from, you know, all walks of the industry, people that are making their living with music and some that are just trying to make, you know, a couple $100 a month would be awesome. Right. So we've all been there, you know. You guys got to realize, like, I spent over 15 years not making a dime with music, you know, so it's not something that's like unheard of to be like, oh, I don't get anything for music. What am I doing wrong? You know, sometimes you have to up the quality and the production of your music and you got to spend more time on the art and you just got to, you know, tear into the art and not even think about the business in any sense for the first 5-10 years, you know. I think that's totally normal. I think making and creating art is really important, but it's only important if you actually ship the art, right? So you guys got to really start thinking about shipping your music, shipping your art, putting stuff out, becoming a professional in the realm of music, because you can't really do much if you can't ship. There's no way to make money. There's no way to collect the money. What good is a PRO, ASCAP, a BMI, whatever, if you don't have any art, you know, you don't have anything published or out in the world. You're not marketing it. You're not promoting it. You know, you're just making music in your room. You know, it's fine. Like I said, I did that for years. But at a certain point, you have to kind of make a commitment as to whether you really want to do this as a business or you just kind of want to have this as a hobby. And it, you know, I like making music. It's fun. You know what I mean? And I want to learn about it because it's fascinating. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But to be a professional, to be an artist, to be a producer, I really think that it's very important to ship music. It's ship the art. You have to put it out. You have to have deadlines. You have to actually make stuff and promote it and find an audience for it. And the reason being is because when you have deadlines and you have to ship something, you get really good at making art. You get really good at making your music. But when you don't, you just kind of mess around with ideas. You know, you drink too much, smoke too much, hang out too much, and it ends up just being kind of a hobby, a way to blow off steam. Which I did, like I said, for a good 15 years before I actually took music pretty seriously and said, hey, you know what? I'm pretty tired of working at a restaurant and getting paid the same amount of money I got paid 3 years ago at a restaurant and try to get tips and, you know, really be in a dead-end career. I feel like music is an entrepreneurial sport endeavor that doesn't have any ceilings, you know? So that's something to be said about the creative world of being a professional in the creative world, is that there are no ceilings. You can do whatever you want. And now you have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can connect with people with your music, but you can also connect with people on a personal level just by hanging out, having content out there and talking about what you love or showing people how you do what you love. So anyway, this is an open conversation, you guys. So if you have any questions at all, just pop them in the chat and I will answer any questions you have about music, business, music industry, releasing your first song, whatever. Maybe you got 10 songs out and you're like, nobody's listening. Nobody's paying attention. We can audit that. We could check out your account. But if nobody asks any questions, then I'm going to leave because I don't want to waste anybody's time. So yeah, you guys got to pay attention to the process of creating, but you also have to pay attention to the process of shipping your work. Finding your fans is not just to build a business and to build revenue and make money off music, all that. Building a fan base sometimes is just making a commitment to making more art and getting better at your art. And finding an audience for your art is sometimes it's hard. It's really, really tough because most people are, let's face it, they're jealous, right? They hate that someone can create something and put it out there and promote it and have a vision behind it, and they can't. And I think that that's the big dilemma with being an artist nowadays, is that, you know, you hear it all the time. It's like, nobody believes in me. Nobody's supporting my music. Nobody's taking me seriously. And the truth is, in any business, any endeavor, any artistry, nobody should take you fucking seriously because you haven't done anything. That's the truth. It's like me, 10, 20 years ago, like going, people should take my music seriously. It's like, bro, I didn't spend any money on my music. I didn't invest in myself. I didn't put anything out. I was in a room getting high, banging on a computer on Cubase and on MPCs. Like, yeah, of course nobody believed in me or paid attention to me. What did I expect, All right, we got a question here from Empowerment Souls. What would you say is the best way to go about networking now in 2022? That's a really good question, actually. So what I would say is probably the best way to network in 2022 is to find groups like this. Get on mailing lists, show up to lives from your favorite musicpreneurs, artists, producers, composers, engineers, anybody that's trying to connect with you guys, like I'm trying to connect with you guys here. You got to realize there's 4 people in here. So you guys have a really big opportunity to connect with each other. And I typically find that if I have a mailing list of 5,000, 10,000 people and I'm sending out emails, most of those people are not actually about the music, right? So 99.9% of people will never make a living with music and they'll never actually take it seriously. And then you're going to find that very, very small 0.1%, maybe even like 0.5%, I'd say, and give you guys a little more than that. They're the people that keep showing up. They're the people that keep showing up for the song reviews. They upload songs. They connect with people in the chat. They have real conversations. They go and follow those other people on Instagram, TikTok, and you develop a community online. And that's really 2022. That's networking. Obviously you can go to events and stuff, like you can go to, music industry events and all that shit. But the truth is, like, there's creators and producers and people out there that are very successful in music that have groups. They have paid groups. They have free lives like this. They do Q&As on Instagram. They do live TikToks. That's how people connect, right? And you just keep showing up to those groups. Now, the hard part is you don't want to spread yourself too thin, right? So you might want to follow 3 to 5 people that you continually show up to their lives and ask questions and connect with other people, right? Like I can show you how this is a real thing. It's like you got Kevin in here, right? Kevin Whitaker. He shows up to all these lives. He's also working with me directly. We're producing records together. We've already taken his music and given it a huge opportunity in the industry. And just to show you guys a little bit of that proof, because I think that's really important to not just hear someone say that, but to actually see what that looks like. I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So when I started working with Kevin, he didn't have anything. He didn't have one song out on the internet. He didn't have anything at all. He actually was, and he still is, doing his day job where he owns a business, and he does really well with his business. He's an entrepreneur. So we connected on that level. But then he was like, hey, man, I found you online through an ad or something, and I want you to mix my record. So I mixed the record for him. And then from there, I produced the record for him, and now we're doing 3 songs together, right? So this is where he's looking now, which is really interesting because he just dropped his latest record not too long ago. But you'll see like all of his numbers here, which didn't exist before. Just mind you guys, he has 2 songs out. None of this existed before. So when we look at where he's at now, his growth is, it's kind of obvious, let me move my face out of the way. But here's his growth so far. And now consistency plays into this because you can't just drop 2 songs or 1 song and expect to just like take off and just keep going. You have to stay consistently, making music and building a catalog. And with 2 songs, you're kind of stuck in a position where you're trying to promote 2 songs. Like people can only hear 1 song so many times, right? Like if they streamed it like crazy, it'd be like 10 streams per person or something like that. But you could see here he's already on playlist reach of 358,000 people. He's on 217 playlists with his music. We've helped him grow like crazy. He's even when you look at the artist overview, he's in a career growth pattern right now. So these ranks, these aren't really anything like you can see like this is chart metric rank. But there's like, if you actually look at the Spotify stuff, because Chartmetric has its own kind of system, he's up 537% on his following, 214% on his monthly listeners. Track posts 100%. He's like actually growing in popularity, right? And this is the crazy part. His popularity on Spotify is at the, engagement rank, fan base rank. So Chartmetric rank, his actual popularity is at 16, right? Some artists will never, ever break 5 on Spotify. He's also gotten to be ranked in the top 250,000 artists in the whole world. This is from working with us for literally like, I don't know, what has it been? A couple months, and 1 song that we've actually produced, right? So the other one we just mixed, and his second song we actually produced and helped, release and everything. Top 250,000 artists in the world, in the entire world. And there's over 7 billion people in the world, you guys. So just kind of put that into perspective and think about growth and think about where you can go with your music very quickly when you're working with the right people that, know how to do this stuff. But I just wanted to show that to you because I think it's important to understand that we're talking about networking in 2022. The only way to network in 2022 is to connect with people. People listen to your music, unless you want robots listening to your music and streaming it up, but you need fans, right? You need people that are going to continue to offer their support and download your music and share it with other friends and go to your shows and buy your merch and all that good stuff. And that's really how you build anything, like relationships with girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, whatever. You have to keep showing up, right? And a lot of people like that come to these chats or are on my mailing list, they don't show up at all. So I'm trying to show you guys that you're not competing with very many people. I just sent this email out to invite people to this live to over 7,000 people, and there's 4 people right now on this live. So if you guys really put that into perspective, you're in a very, very small group of people that actually care. And there's something to be said about that, you guys. The fact that you can, Kevin put out 2 songs and he already broke the top 250,000 artists in the whole entire world on Spotify. The competition is not steep. The competition is not vast. You have to understand, you guys, if you can show up and you can keep showing up and you can keep putting in the effort, you'll just blow through this system. Like, you're not competing with many people. You may feel like you are, but you're not. You're really not. The only reason you might feel like you are is because the algorithms are basically against you, right? They're not trying to push and promote you. Let's check out another question here. This is from George. I have a full album of material ready to release. Do you think it is better to release a full 14-song album, a couple EPs, or individual tracks? Very, very good question. George, I would say how many songs have you already released? That's my first question. My second question is, do you have any proof of market viability with these tracks? Like, for example, are you working with anybody that has had any sort of market success in music? I need those questions answered first. And then third, if you haven't been working with anybody that has any sort of, commercial success, producer, executive producer, anybody that can kind of help you, break through the noise, then you should definitely at least get some opinions, get some mentoring, things like that, right? Before you go and blow your load. But typically, just to answer that question, the short form, if you're a new artist, you need to be putting out singles. There's absolutely no reason to put out an EP or an album. You have to think of supply and demand. Nobody's demanding an EP from you or a 14-song project, for God's sakes. Holy shit. Nobody wants that from you. Maybe your parents or a couple friends, or I don't know. Maybe you do have a following online that's demanding it of you. But yeah, you need to build the hype up. You need to build the demand because there is no demand for it. So how you do that is you put out singles and you promote those singles as if they're the most important thing in the world. Now, if you want to drop EPs because you just feel like you want to put out the project and the work, understand how streaming platforms and DSPs work. They go to your song, they go to your album, they play the first song. If they don't like it, they're out of there. So you just lost an opportunity to get 3, 4, 5, 6 songs, 14 songs listened to. So that's a bummer, right? That just totally knocked people off. So that's a waste to me, and I think to a lot of people that would be releasing music. So just think like that. Think like the typical listener. They're not going to want to digest 14 songs from someone that they don't even know. Now correct me if you do have 1 million followers on TikTok and Instagram and they're all just waiting for your music, then sure, it's different. But supply and demand, right? If you got monthly listeners, I think of 25,000 or more, and it's consistent, it's been consistent for years, then yeah, drop an EP, drop 4 or 5 songs, and do it for your fans, do it for them as a gift. You know what I'm saying? Yo, here's some songs, here's a project, and I doing it for the fans, not for streaming numbers or, credibility or any sort of monetary thing. You do it for your fans. And they got to be demanding that shit like crazy. So I would release singles up front. Yo, what's up, Sanch? How you doing, man? It's good to see you again. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I tried to be as thorough as possible with that answer there. All right, Slash, what's up? Yo, spewing, man. I have another meeting now. I'll have to watch the replay. Cool. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Of course, you got it, man. It's my pleasure. I love hanging out and chatting with people that actually want to chat and learn and grow. And typically that's only like 2, 3, 5 people, you know? Like I said, out of over 8,000, there's 7,000 subscribed, over 7,000 subscribed to the YouTube. But most people aren't going to show up to this because, let's face it, they don't care enough. What they're looking for on YouTube is the cheat code for dope-ass drums in Ableton. You know what I mean? 5 ways to blow up your Spotify, that kind of shit. You know, none of that's real. Those are all like hacks. And, you know, you do all these hacks, it makes you a hack, basically. What tools did he use to promote his single? Ja, I think you're talking about Kevin. We use a lot of tools to promote a single. We've rolled out and had a rollout strategy for him. He actually came to Hollywood, shot film, did sessions, you know, we produced, mixed, mastered, made content around it. Yeah, so much stuff, man. So I have an artist development program if anybody's interested. It starts at $3,000 for a song. So it's not for people that are, you know, just getting in the game or like not that serious. But if you are pretty serious about your music and you want to build a career and a platform and a really strong foundation for releasing songs and building an artistry, then hit me up, you know, let me know. All right, let's see. George, he's got, this will be my first release. I have had some reviews by professional musicians. Okay, professional musicians isn't going to help, George, just so you know. Professional musicians don't know shit. I'll be real with you. You need to find people that have success in music production, executive production, releasing songs, streaming, marketing, promoting, branding. Yeah, you know, like market viability for a song is very different than like musicianship, if that makes sense. Hopefully I don't sound condescending with that. I'm just saying I know plenty of great musicians that would never know how to release a record or if anything that I'm playing them is market viable or not. That wouldn't matter at all. Yeah, I hope you appreciate the advice. I've done, you know, now I've done millions and millions of streams on records, released stuff with Sony, UMG, Warner Brothers, a bunch of big publishers and small publishers, and I've done millions of dollars in music. So I'm just here trying to help you. I hope that, you know, getting your song reviewed by professional musicians and having 14 songs, I would start being a little bit worried and scared if I were you, because that doesn't sound like a winning formula. To me, a winning formula would be, yes, I have professionals working with me. I have this producer who's, you know, Grammy nominated. I got these guys that have some success in, you know, gone platinum with records before. I got these guys that are really professional with the marketing and promotion and branding. Like if your team is like super weak, and you're not sure, and you got, you know, a guitar player and a drummer and some guys that are pretty good at what they do musically, telling you, yeah, the music's pretty good, man. Yeah, you're a long shot away from having a successful drop or project. And I hate that I have to say it like that because I'm not trying to be rude or mean in any sense. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a reality check. With 14 songs, yeah, you need to release some singles, man. And find your best songs and get a lot more opinions. Get opinions from people in the industry. People in the industry, best friends, sure, they're like super, super different, but that's kind of good. Like you want the common listener to give you their opinion, and then you want like the professional that has success and an actual like, you know, data collected to show you like, yeah, I got proof of I know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's super important. But yeah, guys, hopefully these answers are helping you. I'm not trying to like, you know, make you feel like, oh man, this is hopeless. But you guys, it's really, really important. Like if I wanted to put for example, an app, I'm like, yo, I made an app. I want to put an app to market. If I said like, yo, I got some people's opinion that use apps, like that's cool. That's a good start. And they said that the app is pretty fun and cool. But that compared to like talking to an app developer, talking to an app venture capitalist, talking to an app GUI, you know, designer, and getting opinions from people that have made apps that have sold millions and millions of copies and downloads. This is so different than like, yeah, I got some friends that play on these apps or use these apps. You know, I think it's really important that if you're going to invest in your music, you're going to invest in your business and anything in your life, you're going to invest in a new computer. You should get opinions from professionals. And there's people online that will let you do that, right? Like I do song reviews, live song reviews every Saturday. I review your guys' music. You know, I'm not the most famous fucking person in music, you know what I mean? But, you know, I have Grammy, Oscar, Emmy nominated work, Academy Award nominated work, Cannes Film Festival work that went to Cannes Film Festival for commercial score stuff that I've done. I have a platinum record. You know, I've sold a lot of records. I've worked with multiple platinum artists. So, you know, I have some experience in the music industry. So it's like, you know, when I'm giving my opinion and song feedback or music business feedback, that's what I do. I'm not a YouTuber. As you can tell, there's 8 people on here right now. My channel has 7,000 subscribers. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't make any money off YouTube at all. So yeah, you guys gotta know who you're talking to. I'm 38 years old to be 39 this year, and I've been in music for almost 27 years. I've seen it change like crazy. I've seen it from the 90s to the early 2000s to the 2010s to how it is now. I've been in it. I've been very, very close to it. I've worked in buildings with agents, right, where they had agencies, composer, producer agencies, where I got into open conversations about the biggest film scores in the world. You know, I've worked on Thor Ragnarok, the Lego movie, 22 Jump Street, countless TV shows, commercials. I've done over $2 million in commercial placements, syncs, and composing. I'm not trying to like brag and give you my resume, guys, but I'm trying to tell you, like, when I give you my opinion, that's the opinion you're getting. You're getting the opinion of someone that's been doing this for many decades, right? I'm not just like some guy. I'm not just a YouTuber. I'm not trying to blow up my Instagram, bro. You know, I'm like making records and I'm building a record label right now. So for me, I fucking care about this so much. It's like my lifestyle. And this is what I do 70 to 100 hours a week. Like straight up, this is what I think about. It's what I dream about. It's every check that goes into my bank account is from music in some sense, some way or another. It's mixing, mastering, producing, arranging, writing, scoring, sync licensing. Yeah. You know, I just want to help you guys understand like where you're at and where you want to go. Like there's a lot of different micro steps to get to that thing. I didn't just like wake up and decide I was going to go on YouTube and answer music business questions because I have a YouTube channel. You know, I've done serious deals in music. Not crazy deals, but you know, I've done like the 6-figure, you know, $200,000 deals. I've done stuff like that. I've closed Netflix series. I've scored Netflix, you know, TV shows. So I'm just trying to like kind of get you guys to start thinking, that doesn't happen like in a couple years. It's not like, oh, I'm totally booked and I got a platinum record and I'm just like popping, bro. And when you do get there, like now that I'm there, apparently, like what people think is there, I'm like, yo, I got so much further to go. And what I want to do with my time now is to share the information that I've gathered along the way. What got me my first, you know, Grammy nominated project? What got me my first platinum record? Like, how did I get there? And that's what I try to share with you guys on this channel. And what I try to share with everybody, because I don't think that it should be like a gatekeeper situation. I don't think that any of this information should be kept from anybody. So, you know, when you guys ask these questions, it really is like, I take it very fucking seriously. And when I send these emails out to you guys, I take it very fucking seriously. Like I unsubscribe people from the mailing list all the time just because they don't like respond and they're obvious like hobbyist. I'm not trying to hang out with hobbyists, guys. Like I'm trying to help you guys become professionals. I want to be in the studio with you guys. I don't want to be chatting with you over YouTube, you know? So It's just that you have to have these steps in place. Like I can't just like bring you into the studio. Like I don't know where you're at with your music. I don't know how serious you are, you know? So I don't want a bunch of non-serious people like hanging out, trying to get handouts. Like it's just not how the industry works. Like I worked my ass off for almost 3 decades to get where I'm at right now with my music. And it's very modest. Like my music career is modest. Like, yeah, I make 6 figures a year in music, but that doesn't mean like I've made it. Okay. So I just want you guys to think about that a little bit and just start thinking like where you're at right now. Like you just have to get to the next step, and you have to know, like, you don't need to look at, oh, the Grammys, you know, I need a platinum record. You don't need to look at that. You need to look at like, who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to work with? What do I need to learn? You know what I mean? To get to that next step, because your major successes and your like goalposts, they keep moving, you know? Like once I got a platinum record, once I made enough money to pay rent in Hollywood and have a studio and all that, once you get that stuff, your goalpost changes. It doesn't like stay the same. You don't go like, oh man, I want to make, you know, $200,000 a year in music. You start going like, fuck man, I need to hit the first $1 million a year. You start thinking like differently, you know, and you start investing differently. And a lot of people on this chat right now, and there's only 10 people here, but a lot of you guys have never invested even 5 figures into your music business, let alone $1,000, right? Now, you may have bought some plugins. Maybe you bought a computer, right? You bought an Apollo. But like, when's the last time you actually like invested in your music? And I mean like, you got help with producing, you hired a producer, you got in the studio, and you spent money on your project, and you invested the time, the money, the effort to build the project, talk to professionals, get a marketing plan together, have a rollout strategy together for the next 12 months. You know, like when's the last time you really did that and you really spent the time? You know, people write up business plans for startup coffee shops, or for like, you know, to sell t-shirts online. And people have dreams of making music and building this big music business that makes millions of dollars, and they get platinum records and they're famous, and they won't plan anything. Like they won't even write down the very first step they need to take. And for me, I'm like, how do you not do that? I have a list of goals that I write down every day, twice a day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how people can think that if they just make music that someday someone's going to just come knocking on their door or find them online and just blow them up and make them famous or something. It doesn't connect. So what you really need to do is have a path in mind, right? Like if you're not making any money with your music right now, and you don't want to make money with your music, fine, fuck off, get out of here. You know, this is not the conversation for you. But if you're like, yo, I've been making music and I really, really want a career in music. I would love to be a producer in-house, or score TV shows, or, you know, sync license music, or make records that like made money and shifted culture. You can't just make music. Like you have to have a plan on how you're going to attain that. You need mentoring for sure. Like 100% you need mentoring. You need investments in not just your time and not just your effort, because a lot of people in music, that's what they think it takes. Like you got to hustle. You got to make 5 beats, 10 beats a day. You got to just sit there and write music. That's not how it works at all. I don't know who beat that shit into your head. That's like the prerequisite. Of course you got to fucking make music. Oh, you want to be a professional basketball player? You got to play basketball and practice. Oh, really? Okay. But what you really need is you need a plan, and you need mentoring, and you need someone going like, hey, what are you trying to do with this music? Oh man, I'd like to place it with so-and-so artist, so-and-so label, or get a sync license deal or something. Okay, then talk to the people that have done that. Yeah. Like get mentoring from them, ask questions on their live, like, pick their brain, figure out how you can get in touch with them, and you can open up doors for your music, where that person could say, yo, this is actually really dope. Let me pitch this to somebody. Right. But you can't just do this by sitting in your room and making music. Like that's not how a business works. It never will. Every business flourishes off of one thing and one thing only, okay? Now, a lot of people think money, right? They're like, businesses are, they're about money. Like, no, they're fucking not. They have nothing to do with money. Money is an outcome, okay? It's like something that happens because of, okay? So business, all it is helping people. It's helping people and solving problems. And if you're sitting there making music and you're not helping anyone and you're not solving any problem for anybody, then you don't have a business. You have a hobby and you have something that you like to do that de-stresses you. I mean, shit, I like to jerk off. Doesn't mean that I should get paid for jerking off, you know? Like, some people do get paid for jerking off. And excuse me for being explicit, but I'm just trying to show you, like, I like having a nice margarita every once in a while. Nobody's going to pay me for that, right? So start thinking with that. Like, what is your music, or what is your talent, or what do you do musically and what do you love doing musically that's going to solve a problem for somebody or going to help somebody, right? To the point where they want to exchange their hard-earned money with you, right? Because the money, like I said, if you focus on the money, you're never going to get the money. You're going to get these little checks. You're like, oh, I got $200, I got $300, but you'll never really make a living with music. You know, if you focus on what value you're adding to a project and how you're solving problems for a director or a music supervisor or a music producer on a commercial or a label or artist that needs their song to sound way bigger so they can feel it. You know, they got to feel something from it. If you could solve those issues for those people, then you have a business. And now you just do it at scale. And I'm going to leave you guys with that because that's really the best business advice I have for you. So turning music into a business is basically turning your skills in music into something that can help people solve a problem that they're facing. And people only need one of two things, right? They want to either escape pain, right, of nobody hearing their music, it's sucking, them not being fulfilled or excited about their music, whatever, right? Get them out of the pain. Or they want to experience more pleasure. Give them more pleasure. Give them more hit records. Give them more time to, get high and write songs in the studio. Give them more time to not think about the technicals. Give them more time to go make more money performing live as an artist, right? So that's what you should always be thinking about. And this is only strictly if you want to build a business in music and you want to make income and you want to help people and have a business. Business is about helping people, solving problems. That's it. Straightforward. Get people out of pain or have them experience more pleasure. Okay? Business is not about money. It's not about making money. Okay? Making money is what happens when you have a successful business, when you successfully solve problems for people. All right, guys. I really, really appreciate the 13 people that are right here, right now on this live. And I hope you guys got something out of it. If not, you should go back and watch this again because you weren't paying any fucking attention. All right, you guys. Have a good Wednesday. Peace.